Hey fellow gamers, today we're diving into the world of Deathloop, covering its review, Deathloop tips and tricks, heritage gun, Deathloop trinkets, and obviously we show you gameplay. Before we dive into the heart of this video, we wanted to take a quick moment to ask for your support. If you find the content valuable or entertaining, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and ringing that notification bell to stay up to date with our latest gaming content. Alright, let's jump right into the main event. Enjoy the video. Deathloop Review. Gameplay. Deathloop's gameplay is fast-paced and challenging, and it encourages players to experiment with different approaches. There are a variety of weapons and abilities to choose from, and the game's level design is open and interconnected. Players can choose to approach each level in a variety of ways. They can sneak around enemies, use stealth kills, or go in guns blazing. They can also use their abilities to their advantage, such as teleporting short distances or cloaking themselves to become invisible. The game's level design is also a major strength. The levels are open and interconnected, which allows players to explore them in a variety of ways. There are also plenty of secrets to discover, which encourages players to explore every nook and cranny. Story. Deathloop's story is well written and engaging, and it keeps players guessing until the very end. The game's characters are also well developed and memorable. The story follows Colt, a man trapped in a time loop on the island of Black Reef. Colt must assassinate 8 visionaries before the day resets in order to break the loop. Along the way, he uncovers the secrets of Black Reef and learns more about the visionaries. Setting. The game's setting is visually stunning, with its vibrant colors and detailed environments. The game's art style is also unique and memorable. The game is set on the island of Black Reef, a retrofuturistic island where time is stuck in a loop. The island is home to a variety of different environments, from lush forests to snowy mountains. The game's art style is a mix of retro and modern influences. The environments are colorful and detailed, and the character designs are unique and memorable. Overall, Deathloop is an excellent game that offers a unique and challenging experience. The game's gameplay, story, and setting are all top-notch, and it is sure to please fans of action-adventure games. If you are looking for a game that offers a great deal of variety, challenge, and style, then Deathloop is definitely worth checking out. Deathloop tips and tricks. Don't be concerned about catching every detail initially in Deathloop. Deathloop is a game that is all about experimentation and discovery. There is so much to see and do in the game, and it can be easy to feel overwhelmed. However, it is important to remember that you don't have to see everything at first. Here are a few reasons why you shouldn't worry about seeing everything in Deathloop at first. It's impossible to see everything in one playthrough. There is simply too much content in Deathloop to see it all in one playthrough. Even if you try to rush through the game, you're bound to miss something. You'll learn more by exploring and experimenting. The best way to learn about Deathloop is to explore the world and experiment with different things. The more you explore, the more you'll learn about the game's mechanics, enemies, and characters. You can always come back later. If you really want to see everything in Deathloop, you can always come back to it later. The game's time loop mechanic allows you to replay the day over and over again, so you can always go back to areas you've already been to and explore them more thoroughly. So, don't worry about seeing everything in Deathloop at first. Just focus on having fun and exploring the world. You can always come back later and see what you missed. Make acquiring slabs your top priority in Deathloop. Slabs are one of the most powerful tools in Deathloop. They are powerful artifacts that grant Colt special abilities, such as teleportation, invisibility, and mind control. Slabs can be a huge help in combat and exploration, and they can make it much easier to assassinate the visionaries. For this reason, it is important to prioritize getting slabs as soon as possible in Deathloop. Here are a few tips for doing so. Explore every nook and cranny. Slabs can be found all over the island of Black Reef. Explore every area thoroughly, and don't forget to check out the hidden areas. Talk to everyone. The people of Black Reef can also provide clues about the location of slabs. Talk to everyone you can, and listen carefully to their conversations. Pay attention to the visionaries' schedules. The visionaries sometimes carry slabs with them. Pay attention to their schedules, and try to assassinate them when they have a slab equipped. Kill Juliana. Juliana, the game's antagonist, sometimes carries slabs with her. If you can kill her, you will have a chance to loot her slab. Once you have found a slab, you will need to infuse it with residuum in order to keep it after you die. Residuum is a rare resource, so you will need to be careful about how you use it. However, it is worth infusing slabs, as they are incredibly powerful tools. If you prioritize getting slabs, you will be much better equipped to assassinate the visionaries and break the time loop. So don't wait, start exploring today. Ensure the infusion of those slabs and maintain a steady progression of upgrades for them. Slabs are one of the most powerful tools in Deathloop. They are powerful artifacts that grant cult special abilities, such as teleportation, invisibility, and mind control. Slabs can be a huge help in combat and exploration, and they can make it much easier to assassinate the visionaries. In order to get the most out of slabs, it is important to infuse them with residuum and keep upgrading them. Residuum is a rare resource, so you will need to be careful about how you use it. However, it is worth infusing slabs, as they are incredibly powerful tools. When you infuse a slab, you will be able to keep it after you die. This is important, as slabs can be very powerful and can give you a significant advantage in combat. You can also upgrade slabs by spending residuum. Upgrading slabs will improve their abilities and make them even more powerful. If you want to be successful in Deathloop, it is important to infuse your slabs and keep upgrading them. This will give you the edge you need to assassinate the visionaries and break the time loop. Eternalists display a lack of awareness. One of the things that makes Deathloop so challenging is the fact that the Eternalists have poor awareness. This means that they are often oblivious to their surroundings, and they can be easily snuck up on or ambushed. There are a few reasons why the Eternalists have poor awareness. First, they are constantly drunk or high. This impairs their judgment and makes them less likely to notice anything out of the ordinary. Second, they are all very self-absorbed. They are so focused on their own pleasure that they rarely pay attention to anything else. Third, they are all trapped in a time loop. They have lived the same day over and over again, so they have become desensitized to danger. The Eternalist's poor awareness can be a major advantage for Colt. It allows him to sneak around them undetected, and it gives him the opportunity to take them out one by one. However, it is important to be careful. The Eternalists are still dangerous, even if they are not very aware. Juliana possesses exceptional equipment, therefore track her down. Juliana is the game's antagonist, and she is a formidable foe. She is armed with a variety of powerful weapons and abilities, and she is always looking for ways to kill Colt. However, Juliana also has some weaknesses. She is often reckless and overconfident, and she can be easily outsmarted. Additionally, she is not always prepared for Colt's attacks. If Colt can exploit Juliana's weaknesses, he can defeat her and claim her gear. Juliana's gear is some of the best in the game, and it can give Colt a significant advantage in combat. Allocate some time to refer to the information you've gathered in Deathloop. Deathloop is a game that rewards players for exploring and collecting information. There are many different ways to collect information in Deathloop, such as reading notes, eavesdropping on conversations, and hacking computers. Once you have collected information, it is important to take the time to consult it. This will help you to learn more about the world of Deathloop and to make better decisions. Here are a few reasons why it is important to consult your collected information in Deathloop. It can help you to learn about the visionaries. The visionaries are the main targets in Deathloop. By consulting your collected information, you can learn more about their schedules, weaknesses, and locations. This information can be used to your advantage when assassinating them. It can help you to find hidden areas. There are many hidden areas in Deathloop that contain valuable loot. By consulting your collected information, you can learn more about the locations of these hidden areas. It can help you to solve puzzles. There are many puzzles in Deathloop that can be solved by using information that you have collected. By consulting your collected information, you can find the clues that you need to solve these puzzles. It can help you to improve your combat skills. By consulting your collected information, you can learn more about the different weapons and abilities in Deathloop. This information can be used to improve your combat skills and to make you a more effective assassin. In short, taking the time to consult your collected information is a valuable investment in your Deathloop playthrough. It can help you to learn more about the game, to make better decisions, and to become a more effective assassin. Deathloop Heritage Gun. The Heritage Gun is a powerful weapon in Deathloop. It is a lever-action rifle that fires powerful slugs. The Heritage Gun is a great weapon for taking down enemies from a distance. Here are some of the stats of the Heritage Gun. Damage, 120. Rate of fire, 40. Accuracy, 90. Magazine capacity, 6. Range, 100 meters. The Heritage Gun is a great weapon for taking down enemies from a distance. It is also a good weapon for taking down enemies that are hiding behind cover. The Heritage Gun can also be used to take down Eternalists that are wearing armor. Here are some of the pros and cons of the Heritage Gun. Pros. High damage. The Heritage Gun deals a lot of damage, making it a great weapon for taking down enemies quickly. Good range. The Heritage Gun has a good range, making it a good weapon for taking down enemies from a distance. Easy to use. The Heritage Gun is easy to use, making it a good weapon for players of all skill levels. Cons. Low rate of fire. The Heritage Gun has a low rate of fire, making it difficult to take down multiple enemies quickly. Small magazine. The Heritage Gun has a small magazine, making it important to reload frequently. Requires precision aiming. The Heritage Gun is not a very forgiving weapon, making it important to aim carefully. Overall, the Heritage Gun is a powerful weapon that is great for taking down enemies from a distance. However, it is important to be aware of its limitations, such as its low rate of fire and small magazine. Here are some tips for using the Heritage Gun effectively. Use it for long-range combat. The Heritage Gun is best used for taking down enemies from a distance. Take your time when aiming. The Heritage Gun is not a very forgiving weapon, so it is important to take your time when aiming. Use cover. The Heritage Gun is not very effective at close range, so use cover to protect yourself from enemies. Reload frequently. The Heritage Gun has a small magazine, so make sure to reload frequently. By following these tips, you can use the Heritage Gun effectively and take down your enemies with ease. Deathloop Trinkets. Trinkets are small, wearable artifacts in Deathloop that grant Colt passive abilities. Trinkets can be found throughout the game, and they can be equipped and unequipped at any time. There are a variety of trinkets to choose from, and each one offers a different ability. Some trinkets offer offensive abilities, such as increased damage or movement speed. Others offer defensive abilities, such as increased health or resistance to damage. Still others offer utility abilities, such as the ability to see enemies through walls or to hack into computers. Trinkets can be a valuable asset in Deathloop. They can give Colt a significant edge in combat and exploration. By carefully choosing the right trinkets, Colt can become a more powerful and versatile assassin. Here are a few of the most useful trinkets in Deathloop. Astral Projection. This trinket allows Colt to become invisible for a short period of time. This can be used to sneak past enemies or to get the drop on them. Shift. This trinket allows Colt to teleport a short distance. This can be used to escape from danger or to quickly reposition yourself. Aeon Swift. This trinket increases Colt's movement speed. This can be used to quickly traverse the environment or to close the distance on enemies. Focus Ring. This trinket increases Colt's accuracy. This can be used to land more headshots or to make more precise shots. Cloak and Dagger. This trinket makes Colt's footsteps silent. This can be used to sneak up on enemies or to move around without being detected. These are just a few of the many trinkets available in Deathloop. By experimenting with different trinkets, Colt can find the ones that work best for his playstyle. Here are some tips for using trinkets effectively. Choose trinkets that complement your playstyle. If you like to play aggressively, choose trinkets that boost your damage or movement speed. If you prefer to play more stealthily, choose trinkets that grant you invisibility or silence your footsteps. Experiment with different trinkets. Don't be afraid to try out different trinkets to see how they work. You may find that a trinket that you didn't think you would like is actually very useful. Upgrade your trinkets. As you progress through the game, you will earn residuum. You can use residuum to upgrade your trinkets, making them even more powerful. By following these tips, you can use trinkets effectively and become a more powerful assassin in Deathloop. Deathloop is a great game that is definitely worth playing. It is a unique and challenging game that offers a lot of replay value. Here are some of the things that make Deathloop worth playing. Unique gameplay. Deathloop's gameplay is unique and challenging. Players must use stealth, combat, and exploration to assassinate 8 targets before the day resets. Replay value. Deathloop has a lot of replay value. Players can try different approaches to assassinating the targets, and they can also explore the island of Black Reef in more detail each time they play. Story. Deathloop's story is engaging and mysterious. Players will want to keep playing to learn more about the island of Black Reef and the Visionaries. Characters. Deathloop's characters are well developed and interesting. Players will enjoy getting to know them and learning their backstories. Setting. Deathloop's setting is unique and visually stunning. Players will love exploring the island of Black Reef and its many time-locked locations. Overall, Deathloop is a great game that is definitely worth playing. It is a unique and challenging game that offers a lot of replay value. If you are looking for a new game to play, I highly recommend Deathloop. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe.